Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me. Episode 12, Ask Matt. Today's episode, we're going to do a market wrap-up real quick, and then I'm going to tell you about my plays today, what I traded, why I traded it, my expectations, what I think we're going to see, and then we're going to go on to two real quick lessons, and then we're going to get into the Q&A. So please, if you have questions about stocks at the end, please ask them. Tell me what you're thinking about them, where you expect them to say. Ask detailed questions. It's going to help. So let's get right into the market wrap-up, okay? What we saw. Okay, well, we saw heavier volume today, which was a good sign in the market. It shows that some money entered the market really late in the day. But prior to that, what we saw this morning and what I warned about was a market sell-off in the NASDAQ yet again. The Dow was stronger, like predicted, but I'm going to get into that specifics. So the NASDAQ was down like 100 pre-market. I think we dropped as far as like 360 on the NASDAQ. There was a bit of a recovery, especially strong at the end of the day, which told me institutions were buying. All right, we're going to go to the Dow. I'm not sure what's going to happen with the NASDAQ tomorrow, but we're going to get to that later. I do have a feeling, and I'm going to share that a little later. As far as the Dow goes, if you watched my episode 11 last night, I mentioned that the Dow tends to rotate. So for the last 5 to 6 trading sessions, it's been green one day, red the next, green one day, red the next. Today, we were due for a red day. I mentioned that last night. I said, I hope we don't see it. I hope it doesn't come true. I'm looking for some of my Dow plays to rebound tomorrow, meaning today. They did rebound, but the Dow was still hurting for most of the day. It did recover towards the end of the day, all right? But normally, or how I was feeling, I was hesitation throughout the day. You know, I had money on the side today, and I was thinking, am I ready to jump into a certain stock? Am I ready to jump into a position? It looks pretty good. I like the price point. And again, I was hesitant. I held off. The market is holding up. You saw it really late in the day that institutions were buying. So that's a great thing for tomorrow. So if the Dow rotates one day good, one day bad, today was actually a red day because it was red most of the day. So I'm actually expecting the Dow to come out pretty strong tomorrow, probably from the open. I do think we'll see a morning dip. So let me just see. Okay, so again, I'm going to share some of my trades real quick with you guys today because you know I trade through transparency. I'm not one of those gurus that pumps a stock, dumps a stock. If I'm in a stock and it's getting hurt, I'm going to tell you why it's getting hurt. I'm going to tell you why I either stayed there or I averaged down or I'm just holding tight. So let's get into what I did real quick today. First, when I thought the NASDAQ would tank at some point this morning, which it did, so I put in orders to sell 2 stocks at market open. They are on the alert spreadsheet. I wasn't sure if they'd be activated because I thought it might go up. I put in a stop loss. So I closed Jumia out at $30 flat. I lost 12% on that trade. So I hate losing trades. However, Jumia dropped another 12% during the day, and I saw that was happening. The reason I thought it might drop was I thought Jumia might have been supported by an institution yesterday. That's what I was seeing, and I was sure that that institution wouldn't be there today. So I was more worried about that position. Also, Roku, with the NASDAQ being beaten up 6 days in a row, I wanted to get out of Roku. I still had a profit. I secured 3%. It's also better to have money on the side. That's how I'm feeling right now. There are certain plays that I saw where I use the money later on. So it's always good to have money on the side so you can either average down, jump into a new position, just be more secure with yourself. You don't need to be in every single stock and all of your money. Okay, for small accounts, medium accounts, new traders, when it tells you your account balance and what you have to trade or what you have to trade available, don't trade to the last dollar. If your account says that your available balance to trade is like $1.26 because you bought like an extra 1.5 shares of whatever it was just so you can get as close to zero as possible, that's not the right way to trade. You trade, you pick a certain position. If you're buying 100 shares, you don't need to buy 121 shares to use up all of your money. Okay, so that's just a tip I use. All right, next. Let's go to positions that I added today. So I mentioned Upstart, okay? Upstart, the stock. It got beat down pretty bad. It was $102. I almost alerted $102. Now, let me just talk to you real quick about my alerts. When I give out an alert, it must be 100% safe in my mind. It has to have reasoning behind it, all right? I have to be invested in it because I trade through transparency. And if I'm not 100%, like yesterday, some of my stocks were beaten up, even though the Dow was pretty good yesterday. You know, Delta Airlines, Carnival is struggling, SRNE, and I'm going to get to all these stocks. But I was a little more hesitant to give out an alert this morning or alerts today because I don't want you guys to lose money. With that said, the 3 alerts I gave out today did make money. So we're going to talk about that a little later on. Okay, but real quick, Upstart got in at $104.90. I put in my bid a little less at $103.98. It didn't get tagged. the stock was still 104 and change. I actually paid towards the upside. I think the stock closed around $108. I could see the stock running north of 115 to 120 in the next few days. So for me, it was a scalp. I'm looking to make anywhere from 12% to 20%. If you got in with me, great. If not, and you see a dip in that stock, say it dips down to 105 tomorrow, and you hear me talking 118 is a good price, and you want to make 11%, 14% in a few days, it's a good one. Options would be dangerous around this one. All right. I don't want to put a set timetable on this one. Okay. So next, I also made a video later around 2:30 something. I saw NFTs were getting a lot of volume. Every NFT was getting volume. So I did an alert on Twitter. I did a broadcast just saying, hey, I really can't talk, but NFTs are getting crazy volume. I'm going into Dolphin, which was DLPN. So I went in there. I was in at $9.22. I mentioned this yesterday again in the 11th episode that I was looking at NFTs and I was looking at Dolphin and TKAT as well. So I was looking at Dolphin at 10. When I saw it drop to 9 this morning, it went on my alert list right away. I bought in as it was inching up because if you look at Dolphin today, it has a really nice chart. Now, again, NFTs are more, risky, I guess. However, there's huge demand. So if you look at Dolphin and you look at TCAT, there's huge buying and there's not much selling. So the people that are buying are probably holding. There's another NFT, MUDS, MUDS. It was down 7.5% today, but it only closed down 3.5%. So there was demand there as well. Now, MUDS is merging with Topps, the trading card company. Topps has always been pretty cool with cards, even though when I was growing up, there was Don Russ, there was Fleer, there were all these other things. But I think right now, since trading cards aren't really that special because they're mass produced, these NFTs will probably hit it off well. They can be used with music. They can be used with artwork. So I actually really like this. I jumped in with 2 positions. I usually don't, but I think this one could jump from like 10 to 12. If it jumps to 12, it could go to 14. I just don't want to be that guy saying, I remember this at 10. I took my profit at 11. Now it's 29. What am I doing? So again, there's a lesson I teach. When things are green and things are going good for you, sit back. All right? Enjoy it. Don't be so on edge to when I'm going to have to sell. If you plan ahead and you put in a certain target price and it gets hit, that's great. You're going to make your 20%, 50%, 100%, whatever it is. You have to plan ahead and know what your limits are. I gave out Delta Airlines today, which is another stock. I'm not there yet. So yeah, those are my stock plays. Let's get to my 3 option plays. So again, this morning, the first option play was Plug, and I got in a little early. But again, over the weekend, when I announced I was going to go into Plug, I said Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to buy the biggest dip. Well, I'm the biggest dip because I bought in on Monday. I bought 4 positions. I bought 4 new positions this morning, and it went down even lower. I bought options yesterday, and I bought more options today. Good thing about the options I purchased today, they have a September expiration date. So I'm good to run with Plug till September. I think I paid 4.25. So let's talk about it specifically, okay? My Plug play was September options, strike price of $25. The stock's around $25 right now, and I paid $425 per 1 contract. Now, real quick, if Plug takes till September, which I don't think so, but say it's $35, I think it's going to be much higher. Remember, Plug was as high as $77. I do not think it's going there. But again, when the Biden initiative passes and there's money put in to America to make it great again, stealing something from the other president, but we're going to do those charging stations. So yeah, Plug, Blink, they're all going to make money. Green energy, there's a solar thing happening in California for Canadian solar. However, it doesn't mean the stock has to react permanently, positively right now. It's going to happen. Just give it time. So please, over this, since the market's so rocky right now, give yourself more time on options. Buy them out 3 months. Be a lot safer. Now, some of you don't really understand options that well, and I've got an options video coming out, but real simple. If you don't understand options, options are there to help lever your money. Instead of buying 100 shares, you could buy 1 option. Now, the riskier, the expiration is closer to today's date. So we're what? May 4th or something to that extent, right? May 4th, May 5th. If you buy an option that expires at the end of the week, you're really risky. You better be right about the stock direction. However, if you know long-term, Plug is going to go up $10, $15, $20, I'm good. I'm good to holding till September. So just real quick with my example, Plug $25, September options, I paid $4.25. If Plug is $35 by September, each option is worth $1,000. So I'm doubling my money, 100%, and it's a safer play because I'm giving myself more time. Now, say Plug goes to $40 or $42. Then all of a sudden, I'm getting $1,700 per contract. I put in $425 per contract. I'm making 300%. Now, if it happens sooner than later, Plug jumps off some energy news or something like that, I might sell my options sooner. As long as I get max value, I'm happy. And that's what I'm telling you guys. If you enter into a trade, as long as you get max value. So let's talk about my next option position today. And the reason I'm sharing in public right now, because these option plays are part of my community, are part of my platform, but I'm sharing because I'm transparent. The only way you guys are going to learn, and the only reason I'm here, is to make each of you better traders. And yeah, I'm talking to you. If there's something I can improve upon the way you trade, whether it's entry point or strategy or exit point, then I'm happy to do that. If I can teach you how to average down better by using some of my rules with options or stocks, that's great. That applies to you. If not, then hopefully you get other things in. For those of you who are very new to trading, when I simplify options like this, then hopefully that helps you. So I'm just giving you the chance to understand what the returns are. Now, if I'm wrong about this option, so I paid $425, my max loss, because you guys text me sometimes, max loss is $425. If I bought one contract and it's $425, right? That's all I can lose. They cannot take extra money from you. Some people tell me, hey, I bought a call, but Robinhood's telling me my max is unlimited. I have no clue why they do that. I don't like Robinhood. I think it's extremely fishy what they do. I know more and more people are joining the Robinhood site. I can't stand it. All right, so let's get back to my option play. So that was plugged. Then we have NUE. So if you want to look at the chart, I could wait real quick. Look at the 1 month chart for NUE. And I have to thank one of my followers for bringing this up, because I looked at the chart a couple of days ago and I added it to my watch list. Look at the demand. High demand is all green, so more inflow than outflow. Then the volume keeps picking up and gets stronger. And if you saw it today, it's like being late to a party, right? You'd rather go to the party and be late than not show up at the party at all, right? You don't want to be like, hey, there was a party on Saturday. You want to be like, yeah, I got there at midnight, but I stayed till 2 a.m. It was awesome. I met, Post Malone at the party. I've met Post Malone before, so it's pretty cool. The point is, it's okay to be late to go to the party. So I was late to jump on. Sometimes it's considered FOMO. However, if there's such huge demand, and I'll point out one other stock that I'm not involved with, but ExxonMobil, right? Gas and oil. A lot of these stocks have huge demand. If you look at them over the past 6 days, and again, they're more return to, normality plays. They're Dow plays, and the Dow is strong, and the Dow is going to continue to be strong. The reason tech sold off for 6 days in a row wasn't a fluke, all right? The values were too high, and that's why it sold. So anyway, I'm looking at oil stocks like that. So look at Exxon. But anyway, look at NUE. You'll see the demand. All right. So I purchased, the stock was like, I don't know where it was when I learned it, maybe $86, maybe 85 and change. I bought the $86. I went out to May 21st. Okay. So $86 calls, because I'm bullish. I went out till May 21st and I paid $2.75 per contract times 100. So $275 per contract. I think I bought about 12. All right. At the end of close. So if you look at the stock NUE, it went like this and it's still strong. After hours, I think it was pushing $91. So say it's $91, opens at $91 tomorrow. And my option, my strike price is $86. So the difference is $5 right there. Plus you get the time. So we're only at May 5th tomorrow or May 4th, and we're going to May 21st. I have 16 days. So that's worth something too. Maybe they give me a nickel a day. So I get like 80 cents on top. So now it becomes worth $5.80. So I bought in for $275, and now the option's worth $580. Now I'm going to show you guys a slide later, because if you follow me, I gave an alert about the stock, and it went up 5 minutes later. Okay, we missed out. But you didn't miss out, because I tell you guys, plan ahead. I told you where my entry price was, and about 10 minutes later, it dipped once. And didn't only dip once. As soon as it bounced just a little, it dipped again. And I'm going to show you the slide, so I don't want any excuses. And again, it's not like you have to follow me in. I'm not a guru. I'm not saying you got to do this. I bought this option. It's going to make you money. Blah, 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 blah. I'm here to educate you. I'm here to teach you. So one thing I want you to do, please, is pay it forward. All right. I only charge $3.49 for my platform. If you're making money, if you're learning, if you're a better trader today than you were yesterday, and so on and so forth, share this video, share this link with someone. Just be like, hey, just watch this guy. It's kind of interesting. Kind of knows what he's talking about. All right. I see volume, I see demand, I see patterns. That's what I'm good at. So that's what I alert to. All right. I don't always call the bottom so well. I'll call a bottom and then it'll dip more, which is great for you guys because you get a better price. On NUE, I happen to call great timing because I saw it pushing higher. I gave the alert. Now, when I gave this alert, I put it on my spreadsheet right away. I sent out the alert right away. I even tweeted, hey, please look at my spreadsheet, because I know that our alert system can be lagging depending on your phone or where you are. 2 minutes, 3 minutes. My spreadsheets are updated as soon as I make the trade. In fact, I'm typing as I clear my trade and it clears. It goes, bing. I look and I see what price I paid. Sometimes I get the letter wrong, and I'm sorry. I just type so quickly because I'm trying to share knowledge. Like with the NFT this afternoon, I went on live to do a broadcast for like 30 seconds. Then I sent a tweet all while I'm trying to figure out my price, and I missed my entry. So again, I'm trying to help you guys out. I'm trying to make you guys better traders. That's what's important to me. I know if I pick the stock and it's going in the right direction, I'm going to make money. If I lose out on 5 or 10% or 3%, that's going to happen. I'm looking to grow something big. I'm looking to educate 1 million traders. I'm looking to change the way institutions see the retail trader. So it's always us against them. Okay, so let's just move on to the last play. So when I said the Dow was going to recover tomorrow, because I didn't think it necessarily was going to happen today, the Dow was down 100 points. I wasn't sure it was going to happen, but I pointed out Delta Airlines options. I thought they were pretty cheap. They spiked then after I purchased them, and then they went even lower. So Delta Airlines, this is a more risky play. Why? Because the option expires this Friday, May 7th, which means I have until May 7th to sell my option. I don't execute my options ever. I use options to lever, so I don't have to buy 10,000 shares. I could buy, 10 contracts, something to that extent. So again, you don't have to buy 100 shares. If you only have $500 in your account, you can't buy 100 shares of something, but you can buy an options contract for $150. And then if the stock goes down and the option contract goes down, you could buy another $350. That's your $500. That's why if you want to be safe and secure, buy out till September. Because if you're right about the stock direction, you say up and the stock goes up. You say down and the stock goes down, you're still going to make money. You're not going to tell your friend, yo, I just made like 500%, because that's not going to happen. But you can make 100% and you can do it safely. So that if the market capitulates or crashes, you have till September for it to recover. And we know the market likes to crash and then bounce. There's a huge sell-off and you're like, oh man, everything's going to hell. And it goes down and you're like, whatever. And then you turn around and it's quickly bounced up. And then I say, hey, did anybody get that bounce? Did anybody plan ahead and buy that dip? And you guys go, some people say yes. But some people say, no, but that was a serious dip. It scared the bejeebins out of me. So yeah, the scariest time, I'm a contrarian, which means I do the opposite. The scariest time for most people, when you see selling and you're like, oh, the sky is falling, I'm looking at what I could purchase. All right, so back to the Delta options. They expire on Friday, which is risky. The strike price is $44. The stock actually, I think, is above $44. It was like $44.20 when I purchased the option. The stock went down to $44.09 after. I paid 78 cents for that option. So I need Delta to go above 44.78 by Friday for me to make money. Other people that got in behind me paid 10 cents less. So right there, you're 12% up on me. So when I make a killing on this option, I make 98%. You're going to make 110%. So as long as you can get them better. And again, plan. So when I announced it, I bought it at 78 cents. I bought it at 88 cents, 87 cents. 87 cents, I bought it at 87 cents. It went down to 83. I tweeted, hey, now it's at 83, 84 cents. People put in a bid even lower, 78 cents to 80 cents, and then someone 83 cents. You guys all got it. Now, the great thing about this play, the best thing is when Delta spiked at the end of the day past $44.50. I think it closed at $44.65, right? So you know the options at least were 65 cents, but the option price itself was over $1. It was like $1.06. So if you bought it at 80 cents and it's $1.06, you're making 25 cents, which is like close to 30%. 30% in 3 hours. And again, a strong play because the Dow, in my estimation and my prediction, is going to recover tomorrow. It's going to be strong. And the Dow is strong. It's tech that scares me. Tech sold off 6 days in a row, even today. And you know what? Even with the buying at the end, it was still majority selling. Now, the great thing about today, which I realized late in the day, is the market was poop. All right. Decliners outpaced advancers 2-1. And you know what? I made money on my account. Yesterday, advancers outpaced decliners 2-1, meaning 4,000 stocks were up, 2,000 stocks were down yesterday, and I lost money. I couldn't understand. They were talking about how strong the market was, and I'm going, Delta went down, SRNE went down. So somebody asked me to talk about SRNE. So SRNE, right, Sorrentino Therapeutics, there is huge demand. However, there was 4 straight selling days or outflow was greater than inflow because the stock spiked from 750 to 770 to 870. So if we had a green day, a red day, a green day, a red day, it'd still be at $8.70, if not higher. There was demand. I see demand. So it upsets me when a stock goes down and I see demand. But if there's 4 straight selling days for this one specific company, there's 4 specific outflows just crazy, it's going to push it down. This is everybody that's been bag holding that was happy it went to 880. This is people that are taking profits, that are scalping. This is people that know it's going back to $8, so they're selling at $8.50 only to pick up the same stock at $8. And here's a real quick example. Somebody tweeted today that they have EBON. Yes, we all hate EBON, blah, 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 blah. It sucks. It's shorted. There's still shorts against it right now. But the dude told me today, after trial and error for 3 weeks, he finally got his EBON average down to $3.80, where it was over $5, $5.60. So I thought about it. How did he do it? And I'm going to tell you real quick. You could do this with any of your beat up stocks. Ready? Any of your beat up stocks. OCGN was like that. Romeo Power was like that. Anytime you get a good bump, XL is like that. If you get a good bump on XL, right? 40 cents a day, 30 cents a day, you sell your shares. Why? Because we all know it's going back down by the end of the day. All right, Tiger, you could do that with Tiger. A lot of people like TIGR. It's one of my favorite stocks. But lately, you could swing trade it. Why? Because it goes up 4%. Then you turn around, the market's down, and it's down 2%. That's a 6% swing. So you could sell the peak. So what he did is he sold his EBON every time it went up 25 cents, and then he bought it back later in the day when it was down, whatever it was down. And it wasn't never up 25 cents. It was up like 5 cents. So he sold it up there. Then it went down 20 cents, and he bought it back. So he saved 25 cents. So he did that over and over, probably about 13 times. And that's how he got his average down from 560 to 380. So again, you understand that although you bought the stock at 560, if you can make 20 cents here, 20 cents here, 20 cents here, it adds up against your average. So all of a sudden your average goes from 560 to 540 to 520 to $5. You could do that with Mara, with Riot, with any stock you're in. If you see a spike and you're like, wow, it's pretty high right now, you could sell it, buy it back. And that counts against your average. So you just saved like 60 cents on your average, 50 cents, $2, whatever it is. It's taking your average cost down, which means more money in your pocket. So that's what it's about. Real quick, skills after hours, okay? I showed you guys manipulation. They weren't announcing earnings till like at least 4:30 or 5 o'clock, but 3 minutes after the market closed, skills was down 4%. That was shorts trying to get people to sell. So when I noticed that, I actually used my after hours account. I bought, and then the market pushed it up, and then it was plus 4% after hours. So it went from minus 3.5 to plus 4.5. That's an 8% swing. I only made 7% on the trade because I wanted to get in and out. Now, I think skills ended up finishing up 1% after hours, which is great, but I don't have to worry myself. So one thing about planning ahead and one thing about securing profit is you don't have to worry. The anxiety that you have, like, oh, is it going up 4 cents more, 3 cents more? Like Delta, like you're trying to sell your option and 80 cents per option or whatever it is isn't enough. You're looking for 81. So you're watching, you're like 81, 82, is it going to go there? Don't worry yourself. If it's too much stress on you and you know yourself, all right? If you're stressed and you're like looking at your phone and this and your wife's talking to your husband or you're picking up your kid or you're driving your kid home from school, or you're off to the supermarket, don't do that. Just set your order, turn off your phone. It's going to hit. If you came up with a good reasoning and a good rationale, it's going to hit. Someone told me they put in a bid and then they changed it to 5 cents higher for the Delta Airlines. They put in 80 cents. They paid 85 cents. So he still bragged about beating me by 2 cents. But the whole thing says he said he got it at 80. It went up and he thought he was going to miss out. So he changed it and moved it to 85 cents. And what happened? It went lower than 80 cents. It went to 80 back to 78. He could have got 80 cents. So he could have saved 5% basically. 5% is huge. All right. So those are that quick lesson. Okay. This lesson is called, and it's real quick, and then we're going to get into your questions. It's called Don't Be That Guy, all right? Somebody reached out to me this morning. They told me they wanted to invest in Ethereum, right? A crypto that's been off the charts. It was 900, then it's 2,100. I think it broke 3,400 today. Maybe it's back down around 3,200. So he said, how do I invest? So I just put all my money in at once. So I told him, don't be that guy. And what does that mean? It means don't be the guy where everybody's talking about Ethereum and then it's $3,300, and he goes and he puts, let's say, $6,600 into Ethereum, and then what happens? Crypto drops tomorrow for some unknown reason, 10%, 15%. So his $6,600 all of a sudden is worth $5,500, and he's like, dude, why did I go all in yesterday? So I'm telling him, don't be that guy. Whatever amount of money you have, say you have $100, put 25 in. Wait, put 25 in. Wait, put 25 in. If it takes a major dip, take some money out from the bank, or whatever you do and put $500 in. If Ethereum drops down to 2,700, 2,800, 2,900, whatever it is, and whatever crypto it is, say you like Dogecoin, one of my favorites, okay? Yeah, it's at 55, 57 cents. I'm not selling to $1. I realize this. I'm definitely not selling. You know what? Because now I heard a ballpark is using Dogecoin. I heard there was a company. Oh, God, I wish I remembered what it was. I think it was like, no, I don't want to say Target or Walmart, but it was a big company, and they were starting to accept Dogecoin. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Dogecoin? And then I looked on Gemini, and you know what they started trading today? Dogecoin. They trade all these other shit cryptos, and they're trading. I'm like, fine, great. There's going to be huge demand. So that's great. So I'm very excited about Dogecoin. I actually keep seeing a number in my mind. Sometimes numbers come to me. I'm seeing 92. So I'm going to sell at 92 cents. I mean, sometimes numbers just come to me. I just like make guesses. Here's another lesson real quick. Make guesses, make predictions about things. So before you check your stock, look at the market and you're like, okay, the market's down 100 points. Where should my stock be? So when you say, okay, my stock should be here and your stock's further down, you know you're probably not on the right stock. If your stock should only be down 1% and it's down 6%, that's not a good thing. On the reverse side, if the market's going good and you're like, okay, well, let's see where Delta's up tomorrow. Let's say the market's up 100 points, the Dow is, and I'm checking Delta before I'm going to look. If the market's up 100 points, I'm going to guess Delta's probably around 45.89 or 45.91. And then I'll check. Now, if Delta's like 40, the next, 44.91. If it's higher than I thought, I might exit out because I'll be like, wow, it went up a lot quicker than the market. So it's always outpacing something. With Plug, real quick, let me just divert back to Plug. Plug goes against Blink, ChargePoint. So Blink was down 2% today. ChargePoint was down 2% today. Plug was down 7% today. What does that tell me? That it's a little skewed, okay? And then somebody sent me an article, well, Plug's being sued by this, their class action suit. Anybody that sees that for their stock, right, the news release, Jacobson and Company or Jacobson Law Firm LLP or whatever it is, it's all bullshit. All right, I said it. It's bull. They team up with the shorts. All right, they advertise on PR Newswire. If you see a press release from PR Newswire, it's paid. Seeking Alpha is usually paid as well. And then Webull, if you're on Webull, all they do is post articles about lawsuits. Oh, so-and-so is suing Ebon. Oh, so-and-so. None of these lawsuits ever come to fruition. But I could tell that new traders actually think they're legit because traders reach out to me all the time. Did you see this lawsuit? Dude, this lawsuit, they keep mentioning a lawsuit. It's fake, but I keep telling people, and I'm like, I swear, man, I just told you the other day it was fake. And he's like, no, not me. Must have been somebody else. But so many of you, and nothing's wrong with that. I would believe news too. If I read news and it says something, I'm going to believe it. Why would they lie to me? But they do. They get paid advertisements. Why do you think they post the news stories they do? And then other news stories when you're in a specific stock and you're like, oh, this is great news. Where's the news story? They don't post it because they don't care. That platform is always about being paid. So Robinhood, Vlad sells your information to hedge funds. That's how he makes money on the sides. Free trades. All right. Webull, what do? They get advertising. I'm sure they're selling your data to people. I'm sure of it. Okay. Last lesson, overconfidence. Okay. It's a false sense of confidence. And it happens in anything. So somebody was telling me how they were trading and they've just been on fire. And I've been on fire lately. That's why it makes Monday so difficult because I couldn't understand why I was wrong. I kept expecting Delta to spike and SRNE to spike back up. And I couldn't understand why it was not spiking yesterday. So I was more apprehensive. But there's overconfidence. So what I used to do is I would double and triple down. And if I would increase my bet on like SRNE, and if it's going down, I'm just getting killed. And all of a sudden, I blew up my account 90%. That's how it is. And it happens. So if that happens to you, you're not alone. But there's a false sense of overcoming. So say you're killing it. It doesn't matter. Please, I'm asking you now, just follow the rules, all right? The rules are there for a reason. We're going to get to Q&As real quick. I've got some slides I'm going to go over real quick, and I'm going to take maybe 20 seconds per slide. It's just one I want to show you and help educate you. So let's see if we can get the first slide up. It is, where is it? There it is. You can hardly see it, so let's just move on because it was a pre-market. I was talking about how the NASDAQ could tank. And lo and behold, it did. It just dropped off the face of the earth. It went from minus 40 to minus 100 points. The warning went out. And then what did we do? We dropped 350 today. Let me go to the next slide. I'm going to try and go through these quick because I want to get to as many questions as possible. All right. You know what? I wish we could do. Can we do a full screen on this slide? Is that better? Yeah. Okay. So this is the Dow. And I mentioned about the Dow that it was rotating one day on, one day off. Now you look at it. Look at all those cones. Okay. So cone, retract. Cone, retract. So it's over and over. So maybe it wasn't 6 straight days in a row, but you get the pattern. So when I said we were going down today, you could see why. It never goes up 2 days in a row where it spikes and spikes harder. But the good news is, if you look at it, what's it going to do tomorrow? It hasn't gone down 2 days in a row. So it tends to rotate. And if tomorrow's a tough day, then it might take one more day. All right, let's go on to the next slide, please. All right, this is just about the alerts this morning. You know what? I'm not crazy about the slides. Let's just go on to the next slide. Let me see what I got. So these just the alerts. It's how I let you guys know what's going on. Again, the alert for NUE. I tell you guys exactly what my position is, what I'm taking, and I post it to the spreadsheet. Let's go on to the next one real quick. Again, so I'm just showing you guys, I mentioned this earlier, there are 2 points that it retracted again. So if you missed my alert the first time and you have it on your watch list and you planned ahead and you saw I paid $2.75 and you figured and you said if it retracts to $3, I'm going to buy it, which it did. It went back to $2.95. It went back to $3. And now these are the same options that I'm telling you are probably going to be worth $6 tomorrow. So even if you paid 10% more than me, and generally you guys pay 10% or 20% less than me, one time in my life, you guys could pay more than me. One time in my life, I could be dead on right as far as the timing, and you guys could still jump in. Now, I know some of you did because I know how many option contracts I bought and what the volume was, and what the volume was at the time of the announcement. So I'm thinking between 8 and 10 of you bought up about 46 contracts, and I'm probably correct. So let me move on real quick to the next slide. Okay, this one, can't really see that well. Oh, okay, yeah. This was Delta Airlines, and it was just showing you that on days that the Dow is up, the institutions are selling Delta. They're exiting out of the position. They're taking profit. And then days like today, if you look at the inflow and the large orders for Delta, huge institutional buys. So that's where the support was today. That's why I got that push. That's why I got that push at the end of the day. Because if you look, the strong push happened about 2:45 to 3 o'clock all the way to the end of the close. If you look, Delta was like $44.06 and closed, 60 cents higher than where it was. So that's crazy. Let's go into the next slide, please. I just want to kill off the slides so we get to Q&A. Again, when I mentioned this, I bought at 87 cents, then it went to 83 cents, then it went to 90 cents, and then back down to 80. So again, if you put in your bid and you want something, just wait. Have patience. If it dips down, guess what? You're going to be 10% better than me, or 10% better than whatever you were going to be. If you chase and you have FOMO and the stock dips back down, guess what? You're now down 30%. Nobody likes to lose money. I don't like to lose money. You don't. Let's go to the next slide, please. Somebody today made 10% off my Delta Airlines announcement and alert. Let me tell you why that's important. Because I'm looking to make 100%. The point is, everybody makes their own percent. If you want to make 10%, great. If you want to make 20%, great. 50%, 100%, 200%. But always have a strategy about that. All right, let's go on to the next slide, please. Again, I made an NFT video. I went to broadcast live. I just wanted to give everybody the alert that I was seeing the volume that I was seeing. So I was trying to get everybody into it as much as possible. Let's go to the next slide. And it's probably just my alert. Yes, my alert for Dolphin. Again, I gave my entry points. It's always specific that I must give my entry points. I'm not telling you guys to buy. If I'm in a stock, I'm telling you what my entry points are. And if I'm in a stock too high and you guys can get in better, that's great. If I'm in plug and my average is, I think I averaged out to $26 today, and the stock is $24.60. So if I'm in at $26 and I average down to $26, I probably think it's a good play. If I mentioned it before and I have September options and I think the stock's going to be $40 or north of $40, it's probably a good play. Now, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not a financial advisor, but please, do your own due diligence. But if I like something and I'm usually right about something, just my timing is sometimes a little off, it's probably a good play. Let's go on to the next slide. Let's see if we can kill off these slides. And, so Upstart. Again, I really like Upstart. So what I'm showing you on this chart real quick, which I give an alert about, if you look at the first dip to the left of the screen, you'll see that dip, and then it curves up, and it goes up for about 5 or 6 days in a row, each time a little higher. And then it just fell again. So what am I expecting? I'm expecting history to repeat itself. And we know this. So Upstart was 102 today. It finished at 108. So there's obviously that curve there. So that's day one. If day two happens, we'll see another curve tomorrow, which will take us north of, $110, maybe 111. If we see another curve the next day, we could pop to 115. And again, if we see that last jump up, we can get over $120. And that is my selling point. So if I get in at $104 and out at $120, that's 16%. Lock it up. I'm good. 16% in a stock, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, 2 weeks. I don't care. I'm good. Let me step and repeat. All right, next slide if there is one. Okay, this is just what I saw at the end of the day. This is why I am so excited about tomorrow. Specifically, if you're in Delta or Carnival or any of these recovery stocks or retail stocks or real estate stocks or oil, there was heavy institutional buying at the end of the day. and I expect it to recover. So when you look at pre-market or after hours, let's say your stock is down, or specifically the ETF that trades the Dow, which is the U Dow or the S Dow. If the S Dow is up, it means the Dow is down. It's like a futures indicator. So say you wake up tomorrow morning and Dow futures are down 60 points. I would not be too worried. I'm telling you I saw buying, so there will be buying tomorrow. So I'm just, telling you in advance what to look for. There are times to worry and times to not worry. You always need to look at the end of the day buying. So let's see if we have one more slide. If not, we're going to go on to Q&A. All right, this is the Webull comment that I made. They delete all my comments. They suck. Let's just get out of here and go on to questions. Now let's go into questions. I don't want to talk about that. I know some of you guys have skills, the company, but I don't really want to talk about it. I don't want to harp on it because I know some people are long-term investors. I know some people are probably bearish on it. I saw market activity after hours. I saw manipulation. I jumped in because I saw some percent I could make. So again, it's about grinding. Everything about the market, or you're new to stocks, you're old to stocks, it's all a grind. You don't have to spread yourself out so diverse, which means you don't have to jump into 20 stocks. Your friend says, oh, yeah, Sundial's great. It's going to $1. Okay, let me throw $100 in Sundial. Oh, let me go into NEO. NEO's down. All right, let me throw some money into NEO. You have to focus on stocks that you understand their range, right, up and down, that you understand where they're going, why they're going, when the news is coming out, do they have earnings? This is the things you need to do to look at stocks. So I made this example before. I traded Wynn, the casino, 83 times last year for 2,500% profit. So if you could trade just one stock and know one stock, and I know everybody has their own stock. One person has PayPal, one person has Uber, one person said Bitcoin was their stock. Oh, we didn't talk about Bitcoin yet. So real quick before we get to the first question, Bitcoin, what's going on? All right. So what's happening? Well, Bitcoin is dropping. All right. We said it was manipulated towards the end of last week. I gave a conspiracy theory, but most people said options. They had billions of dollars of options that were expiring, and it would likely drop to the 54, 55 range. And there's a 60% chance it's going to hold that range. But what do you see? So you have all these investors like myself. I sold my Bitcoin. And what did I do? I put it in Dogecoin. So, and I had a lot of Bitcoin. And I said I was never going to sell my Bitcoin. I had 2.76 Bitcoin. Now, I didn't put it all into Dogecoin. I divvied it up on some other cryptocurrencies, but they're killing it. So the point is, why would I be in Bitcoin when Ethereum just made 20% in the last day, or Bitcoin Cash went up, or any of these others? And again, I'm going to review cryptos. I have a week plan for myself, so I gave myself 7 days to review about 300 cryptos for you. And then I'm going to make a video and try and educate people on what these certain cryptos are being used for, because there are cryptos that are better used than other cryptos. There are just so many out there that is so confusing. You're like, oh, I don't know. This one's point. And most people choose it by the amount, the cost of the crypto. So when it's 0.0009 and they're like, okay, I'm going to buy $1,000 and it gives me 600,000 coin or whatever it is. They're like, if this thing ever gets to 2 cents, 4 cents, $1, whatever it is, I'm going to be rich. All right. That's not the greatest way. That's like investing in penny stocks. You're just throwing darts at the board. Okay. That's not real investing. Okay, so I've got my phone here. I appreciate you guys. So real quick, please pay this forward. If you made money with me today, yesterday, the last week, and everybody's made money with me, my trades, my option trades, even though I had a losing trade, okay, I have 5 trades open now, I think. And no, I have 9 option trades open right now. 5 are winning, 4 are actually losing. But until I close them out, they're not actually losing. So my options record is 72%. On my spreadsheet, since I started giving alerts, I'm 72%. I think I have 30 wins and maybe like 12 losses, okay? And I have 9 open positions, 5 winning, 4 are losing money right now, all right? So again, I know what I'm doing. It's about time. You have to average down the correct way. All right, so the point was, please join my platform. That's where the alerts are. I don't just give out alerts. If you want to hear what my trades were today, that's great, but you might have missed the boat. So I'm saying for $349 a week, I'm giving you my insight into the market. I'm telling you about the psychology of trading. I have a website set up. My website is there with my rules, my lessons, the psychology of trading, all that good stuff. I don't really want to sell myself because everything we do is organic, so this is the only advertising I get. But I do want to look at stocks, and I'm sorry for that. And people are telling me they purchased my thing. All right, so let's look at stocks real quick. Let's see what the first stock is up here. We've got VUZI. All right, VUZI. What do you think? You're taking positions in there. It swings a lot for the $20 to $30 range. Okay, so the first thing I do is I'm looking at the 3-month chart. This is obviously more in line with the NASDAQ because ever since the NASDAQ started going down, the stock struggled. But it's just volume's real light. I'm going to look at the 1 month chart again. Yeah, I mean, it could be looking like it's going to bounce. It doesn't look like it goes much lower. So yeah, it has support exactly where we are at 2169. So yeah, I think this is actually a good play for you. So part of this segment is, if I own the stock, would I hold it or would I sell it? Now, we had some questions the other day. I just kept saying I would sell it, I would sell it, I would take the money. This one I would hold. Why? Because if it bounces, this gentleman's right. It could go up to the $30 range. It seems to do that in the month. So definitely by the end of May, if you get positive about the stock, you can easily make, a quick 40%. I'm not telling anybody to buy options. I'm saying if you like this stock, if you're in this stock, if you know about this stock and you expect it to bounce from one catalyst or to another, yes, you can get a quick bounce from $21.50 all the way up to $30. I'd be selling it like $29, $30 unless I knew it was going higher. So let's go on to the next stock, please. And again, I'm not Jim Cramer. I'd like to get in as many as possible when we talk about this. Okay, so Tiger. So we know I love Tiger. Now, the thing about Tiger is somebody was taking a short position. I saw it the other day, and then I noticed the options contract. However, it doesn't disturb me because I saw what Tiger did today, and yesterday I was saying it should close at $19.50. That was my estimate, my guess. And it closed south of there, 1933. Oh, no, that's today. So it closed south, 1933. I don't know where it is after hours. But let me tell you, the 4 out of the last 10 days that we're selling, so 6 inflow days were great, and 4 outflow days were greater. On the days that there was more outflow than inflow, like 3 out of the last 4 days, okay? 3 out of the last 4 days, outflow was greater than inflow. However, it was such little volume. So I actually love this. This is my favorite stock, or one of them. I think we see $25 to $27 by the end of May. I think later in the year, we see $40, $45. And my guess by the end of the year is we might be around $60 or $61, which is great. So if you want to play this stock, TIGR, we don't have to go with the May options. If you're new to options, go to September, go to October, be like, okay, I'll buy one. It's a $20 stock right now around, so I'll buy it at $20. What would I pay? So let me just give an example since you're here and if you're sticking around. So let's go out to October and let's buy the $20 calls, and they sell for $5.60. So for $560 right now, you can get one contract at $20. Now let's say the stock goes to $60 by let's not say 60, let's say 50 by October, okay? You have the option to buy it at 20. You have the option to sell it at 50. The difference is $30. One contract would be worth $3,000. And how much is it going to cost you? $560. So again, do the math. 500% gain. So if you like Tiger as much as I am, and I know we like to play the May 21st options, but if you're thinking a long-term investor, and you're a little newer to options, I don't want to rush into it. Plan ahead. So it's $5.60 for the October 15, 2021 calls at $20. So what are you looking for? Anytime that stock is over $25 by that time, that's your break even. Your $20 strike price, you're paying $5.60. So your break even is $25.60. So if you agree with me and you think $35 is accurate, or $45 or even $50, you could crush it and crush it safely. You'd be like, yeah, I'm in the options. And your option just keeps going up in price. So one day you'll look at it and it'll be up 20%. And then you'll look back a month later, and instead of 20%, you'll be up 64%. At some point, if I'm right about the stock being $50 by October, then you're going to be worth $3,000 for that contract. So at some point, it's going to go from $5 all the way up to $30. So you multiply it by 100, so it'll be $3,000. But that's a good question. I like that stock. I like that stock until proven otherwise. It moves with Futu. I saw somebody else had a question about FUTU. There's similar stocks. All right, they allow the Chinese people to trade American stocks. They're opening up the exchange so that they can trade our stocks. You don't think there's huge demand? I mean, we like Chinese companies. We like eBang, FTFT. I mean, there are so many Chinese companies. SOS. You don't think they like American companies? Oh, Mobile, Exxon Mobil, bum. Apple, I want to buy Apple. Yeah, they have an exchange there, but not every stock that's on the Chinese exchange not every company that we have is on the Chinese exchange, just like not every Chinese company is on the American exchange. All right, the Hong Kong exchange is separate. There's an exchange in Singapore. There's an exchange in India. There are exchanges in most countries. The DAX has an exchange. That's Germany. France has an exchange. All right, so let's go on to the next stock. I don't want to lose people, and I do want to get to all the questions we can get to today. That's why I'm kind of speeding through. Please tell me, EBON is going to start acting right. So, okay, EBON's mining Dogecoin. If Dogecoin goes up, there's going to be demand. There are shorts at play with EBON. So I can't tell you it. It surprises me every day, and it's just about you need one person or a corporation or a hedge fund to decide, you know what, we're going to acquire this company. We're going to start acquiring stock. What happened today to get the stock from 380 to like 360 is basically somebody sold 1 million shares throughout the day. So I think it's a short seller. I think it's someone pushing it down. And as long as they keep winning, as long as the stock keeps going down 20 cents a day, they're winning. So someone's going to step in at some point. I'm hoping it's now. I almost mentioned it pre-market. Action was really good with that stock pre-market, and I thought today could be the day. One of these days, it will pop. Okay, but I haven't mentioned averaging down or buying extra shares or this, that, because the last thing I want to do is make you a bag holder, all right, or any more bag holder. I don't want to go, yeah, EBON's going to pop today, and you're buying at $3.80, and now it's $3.60. So not only were you a bag holder before, but now you're like double loaded. You're double fisted. You're like, dude, Matt's so great. Look, he had me buy 2,000 extra EBON shares, and now I'm down $400 more. That is not going to happen. So when people tell me, hey, I use your rules, I average down on my $5 call options that are expiring whenever May 21st. What should I do? Well, first of all, $5 call options are out of the money. You have the next expiration, so you didn't give yourself enough time. So again, EBON, if you want to just bet that the stock's going to go up sometime in the next few weeks or next month, but it's going to really burst. It's going to go from 350 to 550 and from 550 to 750. I think that's accurate. I think it's a possibility. But if I'm going to buy options, I'm probably going to go out till like September, because that way I don't have to stare at my phone going, geez, I hope it's today. Oh, it's finally moving today. And then what happens whenever your stocks finally start to move? What happens? The market takes a dump. The president comes on and talks about taxes. Jay Powell comes on and talks about something. And my stocks, which were looking really good and recovering strong, and I was finally up %, one of these guys comes on, and then my stock takes a dive. And then the market takes a dive for the rest of the day. So it's amazing. It feels like it happens to me. If it feels like it happens to you, you are not alone. Every time I feel like something real good, and again, options I just have fun with. I want to be right. I want to be correct. But the majority of my money right now is on the side. I have 1% in options. I have 71.4% on the side. And I have, 27% in stocks, 27 and change. And those stocks are longer term stocks. I'm in Carnival. I'm in Delta. I'm in another airline, Love. I'm in some oil companies. Again, I trade with the market. So when the market's telling me that tech is selling off for 6 days in a row, I get it. They want me to invest in oil. They want me to invest in Dave & Buster's or Bed Bath & Beyond. I mean, all these return. I mean, I don't think these stocks are great. I don't think the Gap or Urban Outfitters is a great company or run great. So I don't understand why these stocks are shooting up. So I'd rather be in some oil stocks. Let's go to the next. Stock. Okay. Okay, so a question about the direction of MSTR going to earnings. So real quick, MSTR is like the Fort Knox of Bitcoin, all right? So instead of holding gold, they're holding Bitcoin. They have like 71,000. So if you do the math, you can quickly Google, and this is a good one, Love, just Google, how much Bitcoin does MSTR own? And you'll get a specific number. It'll be like 78,100 in this, and you multiply it by the Bitcoin price, which is, let's just take a look because I haven't seen it. Sorry for the delay. I've got so many freaking stocks. Where the heck is Bitcoin? Well, this is a really bad lesson when I can't find Bitcoin. All right. Oh, and there it is. 55,000, let's say. So say they have let's say they have 71,000. So you take 71,000 times 55,000, and it tells you the company's value. And then you look at MSTR, and you'll see what the valuation is. And if there's a discrepancy, then you can use an arbitrage, meaning you could buy the company if you think the stock is worth more money based on the Bitcoin price. So again, if you think Bitcoin is going up, which I do, I just think there's a hesitation because I think the average retail investor like you and me, if we had, I had, 100 and something thousand in Bitcoin, but say you have like 10,000 in Bitcoin, guess what you probably did a week ago, a month ago? You probably sold and put it in Ethereum. You probably sold and put it in Story or Ren or Uniswap or any of these ones, and you're probably killing it. My Uniswap is up 100% since I bought into it, over 100% actually. So that's not even a good one. I mean, you guys are let's look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin's up like 1,000% or even more because people bought into it when it was like a fraction. So anyway, all right, let's go on to the next. Direction of earnings. Earnings won't really matter. They have a certain amount of expenses. I think this company, MSTR, also deals with intellectual property. So they have some other assets, but I really think they're just like a big bank. So if you think Bitcoin might struggle, which they're talking about is struggling for at least 3 weeks, they don't see it popping over 60,000 until at least the end of May. With that said, if you're in Riot or SOS or any of these Bitcoin mining companies, you might struggle. So if you get a spike, sell, and then it comes back down, buy, increase your position. If you sell up here, say you only have 100 shares and you sell it here and then you buy it down here, guess how many shares you can buy when you buy it back? You can probably buy 106 shares back. And then you sell at the top and then you buy it here. Anyway, you do this about 10 times and guess what? Your 100 shares become 200 shares. So you want to learn how to invest without having a lot of money or a large account? Easy. You do smart things to increase the size of your portfolio. Again, I put these ideas and these suggestions on my platform, on my website. So it talks about increasing your portfolio. You don't have to get everything right. There are ways, little ways, even with options. If I have an option, it's a $400 option, and I sell it at $600, and I buy the same option when it goes back to $500, right? I'm taking the same play, but I'm saving 20%. So right there, say I had 10 contracts, now I have 12 contracts. I increased my portfolio for this one position by 20%. You could do that. Say you have an options contract in Tiger and you sold it at $5 and now it goes down to $250. Great. Buy 2 of them. Guess what you did? You just increased your position 100% by doing nothing but selling at the top and buying at the bottom. And you know what people say to me? Matt, that is so simple. That sounds so simple. Why is nobody else talking about this? And that's it. Nobody else is telling you these simple rules to help you be a better trader. It amazes me. I don't watch a ton of videos. I don't look at a ton of people, but all they're doing is talking about a certain stock. Oh, this is about to explode. Oh, there's a short squeeze. I mean, they knock every single button that you guys want to hear. Short squeeze, explode, going to the moon, $1,000 a share, buy the ask. I mean, these are all the wrong ways to trade. So please, if you're getting something out of this video, I mentioned that before, please pay it forward. Tell someone, hey, watch this video. Here's the link. This guy's interesting. He's amusing. Here, kickback drink. So share it with someone. All right, let's go on to the next stock, please. How did everybody do today? I ended up in the red. No, that was good. Let's just see it real quick. I like when people share. Or if not, okay. Everybody ended up in the red today, but it was Plug. Only it moves, looking very good. So just real quick about Plug. Before it declined towards the end of the day, I don't know if you guys saw it, but 2 different times during the day, and I did because I'm a fan of Plug now. It shot up. There was huge demand. So it shot up early in the morning, and then the market sold off and it trickled down. And then it shot up a little and trickled down. The point is, it's like fool me once, fool me twice. So it shot up in the morning. Someone was willing to pay it all the way up to $25.30. Again, I remember numbers, $25.30. And then they were willing to do it again in the afternoon when it was $24.80. They bought it up there. And then it went down to maybe $24.30 or something to that extent. Let's see, Plug, $24.60. Okay, so they were willing to buy it up to $25.30 in the morning and then $24.80. So yeah, it's not far off there. But again, now they have this lawsuit thing out and people are worried, and that people will reach out to me aside. And if one person's thinking it, one normal person who's your average Joe trader reaches out to me and says, hey, is this lawsuit common? Guess what? There's not one person. There's 100,000 people. Now, if 100,000 people don't have Matt saying this lawsuit is bullshit, what are you going to do? If I didn't know what I was doing and I read that somebody was suing the company that I invested in, I would sell the stock. I mean, I'm not an idiot. I don't want to be involved with lawsuits, but Apple's being sued, Google's being sued, Facebook's being sued. They're all being sued. I'm sure Netflix is suing somebody. I mean, there's so many lawsuits. Now, those are real lawsuits over intellectual property. These lawsuits, if you ever see a lawsuit, and here's the key tell right here. If you see a lawsuit and it says, did you buy stock? Are you an investor from this time frame, from October 2020 to April 2021? Then it's bullshit. There is no time frame. There's no suing somebody like, hey, I made a bad trade. I'm going to sue you. If there was, I would sue the CEO of AMD because in the third quarter, I had $45,000 worth of options. She announced that they beat earnings by 20%, which I knew they would. And then she announced that morning pre-market that they were buying their competitor for $35 billion. So she technically owes me about $45,000. I should sue her. I should do a class action. Everybody that had options in AMD for Q3, let's sue her. So it was ridiculous. And then you know what pissed me off? Jim Cramer has her on, and he's like, hey, you're so wonderful. You're so great. He's an idiot. Yeah. Anyway, let's go on to the next question, please. CSIQ. So interesting, because there was buying at the end of the day. So I don't know if it was buying. It's been selling off for 6 straight days. So if you guys remember, I actually sold at this last peak right there at $46. And I said, I'm not seeing the demand. It's scaring me. It could go down. And it's sold for 6 straight days. And actually the chart for 1 month looks terrible. But when I narrow in, if I zoom out, it looks terrible. Okay. If I zoom in to the 1-day chart, it still looks terrible. There's just no demand and no volume. And I'm sorry to say that there are probably better green energy plays. It was my favorite. When I see demand and volume leave a stock, it's very hard and it's very easily manipulated. Meaning, if one person sells, it's almost like a snowball effect. So one institution sells this just because they want to get out of the position. They're not saying Canadian Solar is a bad stock, but they decide to get out and it pushes it down $1. And then somebody else says, hey, look, it went down $1. I'm going to sell, and it goes down another $1. And then you on the sidelines, there are 100,000 of you. Now it goes down another $1. And then at some point, we're all saying, is that the bottom? Is it a good time to buy? But unfortunately, that doesn't look so great. But green energy could spike on any given day. XL, NEO, Plug, ChargePoint. We could see a 5%, a 7% day. I wouldn't put it past. In fact, I quite expect it. I don't know if it's going to take a Biden speech or someone talking about green energy or solar power. They're doing some solar power initiative in California again. So I don't know what's going to happen, what's going to tick it off. But one day, sometime soon, I mean, they've been beating up on green energy. There are some stocks that can't go down any lower, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, again, long-term, yeah, it would be a great play now. If you're a long-term CSIQ, let's say you have options in CSIQ and you're being beaten up right now. What would I do? Average down. But how would I average down? I would look at the September or October calls. You know, the stock's around $35, right? Oh, no, for $45, I believe, right? No, $39. So right at $40, I would go with $40 October or September calls. I would pay up, and that way you have more than enough time. So Canadian Solar is going to do one of two things. It's either going to go back down to $28, which I don't think so, because we're all about green energy. Biden's all about green energy. We're all about carbon emissions. That's what everybody likes. I mean, everybody really stands for something. Everybody's standing together. These people that want to change the world, right, and save the planet. You remember that? They were even there when I was in high school in the 80s. There was like Earth Day. We were going to save the planet. Everybody wore Birkenstocks, shit like that. All right, let's go to the next stock, please. How are you able to tell when volume spikes real time? I'm not able to tell for every single stock that volume is spiking, meaning I don't have an algorithm built into my computer. I'm not using software. These institutions, they use software. They pay hundreds of thousands of dollars a month to license the software. So what do? I have a watch list. I have about 70 stocks. I suggest you guys have a watch list. It doesn't mean you have to invest in 70 stocks. You could be in 5 stocks. You can be in 4 stocks, 3 stocks, 2 stocks. When I'm in options, I'm usually maybe in 4 options at any given point, and usually 2 of them are related. Like if I'm like Carnival and Delta, those are Dow stocks, or if I'm in something else, if I was in tech, they're usually 2 tech stocks or 2 fintech stocks that are related. I try not to diversify because it's a lot to follow. So if green energy is being beat up, but I'm not watching the computer that day, I might lose a lot of money. I might be in some green energy stocks, and if I can't follow. So I like to stay focused, and I suggest you guys do the same, especially if you have smaller accounts. If you're trading, under, I don't even know, $5,000, $10,000, focus on 1 or 2 stocks. You don't even need to, trade more than that. So let's keep going. Let's keep going and see what else we got here. PLL. I think I know what that one is, right? Yeah, Piedmont. Right. So PLL. Back in the day, they were doing some type of battery work for Tesla, or that was the rumor. The stock was at $26, then it went to $28, then $32, then $38. When I think of that company, I think of a $30 company, a $32 company. Then it spiked. The last person that asked me, it was $78 at the time. And I said, wow, I think that company's like a $32 company. And it would not surprise me if it goes back down. And what did it do? It went from $78 back to $67. But let's speak more about where we are right now, because we always speak about where we are right now. So the stock is at $67.70. What does it look like? It looks like similar to other stocks, not so bad, because we've had 6 straight days of tech selling. I consider green energy, like battery, green energy, something like that. So yeah, it's been sold off 4 out of the last 5 days, which is 80% of the time. So 4 out of 5 is 80, right? The volume is low. So the outflow that's leaving is low, which means people are holding, people have conviction behind the stock. I would actually hold on to the stock. I would hold on to the stock north of $72, $73, I'd be selling. So it might not be what you want to hear, but if the stock is $67 and I'm telling you, you can get 10%. And again, the 10% can happen pretty quickly. If the market turns around the rest of the week, you can get that 10% by Friday. Now, I'm not saying to buy. I would be holding this stock if I was in there. I would be holding till about $73.50. All right, let's move on to the next one, please. Trit got hit decent today. Let's see what happens to Trit. Again, I have an open options position. I have 8 options, I believe. 694. Yeah, it's been hit for 4 straight days. Why? Because it's Triteris. It's I don't want to say a Chinese company. It's a Singapore company that's involved with fintech. A lot of people have misconceptions. They're really revolved around blockchain and fintech financing, and they have a shipping. I love the company. I still think double digits. I don't think people understand this company, but I haven't been talking about it because I haven't been upping my investment. I haven't been increasing my options play. I had 12 options in April, so I waited for the spike one day, and I sold them, and I bought the Mays back because I'm waiting for earnings. I'm waiting for the fourth quarter earnings, which they still haven't released because they were a victim of a short report. The stock went from $15 down to $6.50. I bought it at $6.88, and I've been holding, waiting for them to announce earnings, and they just don't do it. They had a problem here and a problem here and another problem there, and I'm becoming not to trust the company. So they're not a Chinese company, but they're an Asian company, Asia Pacific. Okay, they're in Singapore. So for me, they're all getting grouped together. So Triteris is being hit hard, and it sucks. I think it's unjust. Let's go on to the next question, please. Okay, I bought 2 position for pins. Okay, 528. So you gave yourself a lot of time. Max for 35 cents. Max lost $70, but can take it. Yeah, so again, it's risk versus reward. You're only paying $35 per contract. So I get it. Your max loss is $70. I will look at pins for you. I like the fact that you gave yourself more time, but the fact that you're telling me that you only paid 35 cents for a $70 call tells me the stock's probably around 50-something dollars. I want to say the low 50s. Oh, $62. Okay. Yeah, you've got a chance. However, tech's been selling off pretty substantially, and pins sold off since $79 all the way down. It's not the worst play. To me, it reminds me of Twitter. Twitter got beat up the other day, and people were coming out to me and saying, how about Twitter options? A $55 call. Let me go out a month. It'll definitely bounce back. What do you think? It'll definitely bounce back. And what I said to them is, your downside is limited, but it could definitely drop to $54 or even $53 if we see sell-off tomorrow. So be careful. And I don't know if that was Friday in respect to Monday or Monday in respect to Tuesday, but I'm going to look up Twitter real quick because I know somebody had it about it. And since I'm talking about the stock, I want to know what it's doing. Since I don't sound, let's see what it says. Twitter, okay, 54.40. Again, it was selling off. Today it only dropped 18 cents. It was a tough tech day. So if tech's off 350 points today and Twitter's only dropping 18 cents, that's showing you a support level. The market fell off a cliff. Twitter only dropped 18 cents today. So that's what I'd be looking at. So instead of pins, I'd be looking forward to Twitter. Twitter's also trying to monetize something. I heard they're doing similar to Instagram where you can do stories and videos. They asked me today, hey, click on this. I clicked on it. It was like, do you want to shoot a story? No, I don't even like Twitter, to be honest with you. Okay, let's go to the next stock. I really want to get some more stocks in. We're just over an hour, so I'm going to do about 5-10 more minutes. Did anyone play the SQQQ or the TQQQ today? So again, if I give you market direction and I'm telling you, and there were some people that have been making a lot of money, and I know people entered into puts for the SQQQ. Why do they like the SQQQ? Anyway, first, that's an ETF. So if the NASDAQ goes up, right, SQQQ goes down. If the NASDAQ drops hard, the SQQQ spikes. All right, just to get it straight. So if someone thinks the NASDAQ, there was a lot of buying today, and I know Love entered into a position, and I know 2 other people did. The SQQQ, they bought puts. Anybody that remembers 2 weeks ago on that Thursday when we bought the UVXY, and I said it was going down from $5 to $4.50, and it did. That's the volatility index. It's the same suggestion. if the market is stable tomorrow and the market's green, the SQQQ will go down. So again, puts the way to go there. You confuse yourself if you buy calls or you confuse the index what it is. It's very risky. So make sure if you're options trading, you know exactly what you're doing surrounding those. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, Futu, I don't know how the option looks, but Futu tends to move with Tiger. And again, these are two of my favorite stocks. I think Futu is like probably $139 or $140. Hope it's not less than that. Let's see. Imagine if it was, I'd be scared. All right, Futu. Okay, 142. Such light volume. So Futu and Tiger, TIGR, their charts look so similar. There is huge demand. And the days that they sold off, 4 out of the last 6 days, when the stock has been selling off, volume has been so light. So all it needs is a tick, a spark, and it will explode. So yeah, July 14th, the reason I don't like July 14th options, okay, let's say the market stays dead for May. Let's say volume's light. Well, it's not going to improve in June, and it's definitely not going to improve in July or August. So the market, some people are talking about, could technically be dead from mid-May, like we're almost there as far as the volume goes, all the way to the beginning of September, the end of August, the beginning of September. People vacation, people do that. People are out in New York City. New York City's hot. It's smoggy. I used to live there. I used to be on Wall Street. All right. So, yeah, I like that play. I might go out a few more months. All right. Next question, please. All right. I bought a put on UVXY. I made over 70%. In Blink options, red day turned green. Love buying dips. Yeah. So, anyway, and if you understand the UVXY, every time it spikes and there's uncertainty in the market, but you think the market's going to straighten itself out by this afternoon. Like there was huge selling this morning. So the Dow was down, tech was down 350, and UVXY spiked pretty hard. I thought about buying put options as well. I would have crushed it. So well done, Romeo. I know you're getting it, and I like seeing that. So please keep sharing. Let's go to the next question, please. Okay, doesn't Dogecoin practically have infinite supply? Yeah, I'm told it does. Why does it keep increasing? Because people are using it as currency. Now, it's not infinite. You actually have to mine Dogecoin. It's not like you're going to go to the corner and be like, yo, there's 100 Dogecoin. They use the same machines and algorithms to mine Dogecoin. It's just a different variance, and it's a different value as well. I mean, Dogecoin is 50 cents per Dogecoin. It's going to cost less money to mine this, and you're going to be able to mine more Dogecoin in the time than you would to mine one Bitcoin. So it's not like an equal trade. Like, why would anybody mine Dogecoin? In fact, when Ebon was mining Dogecoin or is mining Dogecoin, I was saying to myself, and this was like 6 months ago or 5 months ago, I was saying to myself, what the hell? This coin's not even used for anything. And then it went from fractional cents to 4 cents. And then people were talking about it, and there was 9 cents. And I was like, really? They're mining it? Okay, but it's not going to be good for anything. Then it was 30 cents. And then we were talking about trading it that weekend. And we started trading it up and down. And we got out at, whatever it was. Anyway, let's go on to the next question. And I've got 2 more questions for everybody. Okay, before I give the 2 more questions, please, if you're still watching, you're still with me, please pay it forward, reshare this video. Everything I do is organic. I'm trying to teach you guys. I'm trying to just share examples of things. I wish I had a perfect formula to share with every single person to make that light bulb go off, but it doesn't. So when I cover multiple topics and you're like, dude, repetitive, I heard this yesterday or whatever, it's to help certain people. Okay, now I see some questions here about earnings and things of that nature. Earnings are very difficult to hold through, all right? If earnings come out and the street doesn't like whatever they hear from the earnings, or even if earnings are good, like I remember Netflix Q2, earnings were amazing. And then what happened? The street said, okay, but you're saying expectations for the third quarter are terrible. And what happened? The stock went down like 10 or 11%. And I lost that was another play, options money. I should sue Netflix, call those lawyers. All right. So Plantier was good. Third bottom today. Yeah, I mean, Plantier looks good if it's going to turn around. All right, we're done with stocks. I appreciate everybody sticking with me. Tonight was great. I'm sorry. I'm just exhausted. I was up at 4 a.m. I don't want to get anything wrong. So I was stressing today. I didn't want to give alerts unless I'm 100% sure of them. So anybody that's stuck with me, I appreciate it. When I give an alert, like when I give Delta out and I have so much conviction, it's because I thought we were going to be green, tomorrow. I thought we'd turn green towards the end of the afternoon. I thought Delta I saw the volume and the interest there. So if I tell you something, I'm not telling you, you got to do this. But I think I know what I'm talking about, and I'm trying to steer you in the right direction, and I trade through transparency. So thank you so much. Thank you for being a member of my platform. Thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.